And citizens will do the right thing, isn't it?
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call.
Johnston.
Here.
Yax.
Here.
Brumman. Here. Small.
Minutes for February 5th. We have got first and second. We have any additions or deletions? Okay, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? That passes. I guess before I get too far, we need to add on new business. We are going to have increased fees in the building department. And we have a printer in the building department. We'll have on new business at the end. So. Okay, we have public comment. 3 minutes, state your name and township. Okay, presentations. Do we have any unfinished business? New business claims. I'd like to make a motion to approve pre-authorized claims and open claims presented for payment between February 5th, 2025 and February 18th, 2025 for check numbers 156-745 to 156-903 and e-checks 2562 to 2561 for a grand total of $381,438.97. Support. E-checks, why is that 2562 to 2561? Is that just,
It should be
Just be-
2568.
okay, that's why.
Apparently I mutilated claims this time.
Okay. All in favor? Or that's money, a roll call.
Johnston.
Yes.
Small.
Yes.
Brumman. Yes. Yax.
Yes. Okay, comes on. Notice an intent to update master plan, Rowan Township. Do we have to do anything, or we just receive these?
You just receive them. There are on the backside, if you flip that over. I usually request a copy to keep
Okay.
copy of the master plan on file in my office.
Okay.
But if you don't see any problems with it, it's prepared for, I believe, by NEMCOG. And you will just waive your 30 days or.
Well, it's City of Harrisville. Right, City of Harrisville.
I didn't get any requests to waive it or do either one, so it can go into effect in 30 days. or-
Like I said, we have 30 days if you come up with something and.
Yeah, just leave it going, it'll be
Yeah.
30 days.
No, I am aware of anything they're pushing on their master plan.
You guys got in your packet, I gave you, our building department, Dan Gothier, this came up with. A couple things, I guess first, he came to us last time requesting a, printer, it's a scanner, printer combination, to do, all the, prints. We want to we'll put them in the cloud, and keep them digitally. They can actually be printed down the road. We had John Hartley looked into it and he came up with the best one. So we're looking for a motion to approve up to 17.
I would move that we purchase on behalf of the building department an HP DesignJet P2600 multi-function printer. At cost not to exceed $17,000.
Second,
Second.
So it's this, I mean, we're only allowing, because he had said something about talking to Miller, that could still happen. Because we're just saying a dollar amount.
Yes, we're doing up that, and then the rest of it was for ink and different stuff for that, but. Yeah, that's, I mean, John's
This could be whoever.
yeah, they're working together, trying to get the best program that they can get. I think any other discussion, Karen? You always have something?
I did, I made a motion.
Okay. Okay, I guess better do roll call.
Yax,
Yes.
Johnston,
Yes.
Small,
Yes.
Brumman,
Yes,
Motion carried. Okay, now we have another, and we're looking at, I guess I don't know how we want to go in this. We're looking for a motion to approve raising, the Alcona rates, for, application fee, rough inspection fee, final inspection fee, and re-inspection fee. Our current rates are 35, 40, 40, and 40. And we want to raise those all to 65. The average is 65 and up. I know we get $40 for a rough inspection fee, and we pay the inspector 60. So I think we've kind of went a long ways without doing anything, but I think it's probably high time that we do it in order to balance our budget. And
I would make the motion that, application for our inspectors for Alcona County, the application fee, the rough inspection fee, the final inspection fee, and re-inspection fee. The payment be set for each of those for our inspectors at the amount of $65 per.
second,
Or
any discussion?
I think along with that, I would like to, and I hope the rest of you feel the same way, but to indicate our appreciation towards our new building department manager for the work he has put into identifying these issues and helping the department move forward. I think we're very lucky to have Mr. Gothier, and I think it's worth taking note of. But in addition to that, I would also share, if most of you are aware, if not all of you, that he has also worked very closely with John Hartley to make sure that this is going to be the best piece of equipment for what we need. And so we joint effort on that. As I said, I believe Mr. Gothier deserves our accolades for addressing these issues.
Roll call,
who was the second? I'm sorry.
right,
Yax,
yes.
Small,
yes.
Brumman,
Yes,
Johnston,
Yes.
Pass. Finance report.
Hold on a second. Do we have to do a resolution on those?
permit fees.
Yeah.
I don't think there was a resolution the last time you guys increased them.
Yeah, I was thinking it was, but well, if we find out, we can do it. It seems like we did resolution before.
If I increase fees in my office and I ask for I don't do a resolution.
Yeah. Yeah.
Unless you find out different.
Finance, we had a finance meeting today. I guess I'll make a motion. We got close out of 2024 budget amendments. And if I can we can just do that on one motion.
This is, what this was, you handed out?
Typically,
Yeah.
they're all individual motions. Unfortunately, sorry.
All right, well, we can do.
Go ahead, I'll second them. Go ahead.
I'd like to, in the general fund 101, $120,100. I'd like to make a motion to close that out.
Second.
Discussion? These all have to be roll call.
Brumman,
Yes.
Johnston,
Yes.
Yax,
Yes,
Small,
Yes.
pass. Fund 208, Parks and Rec, $30,935. Close out for 2024.
Second.
Any discussion on that?
So we're increasing revenues and increasing appropriations. So we're on that to close it out. What you're doing, right?
correct.
Yes. No discussion, roll call please.
Small,
Yeah.
Brumman,
Yes.
Johnson,
Yes.
Yax,
Yes. Fund 210 ambulance, $170,602.
Motion.
Yep.
Second.
Discussion on that. And I do have details if anybody.
Anything? No, I mean, was this just the normal?
Yeah, this is the
Increase in revenue or?
It's just increasing,
There was more money came in than anticipated.
Yeah,
roll call,
Johnston,
yes.
Yax,
yes.
Small,
Yes.
Brumman,
Yes.
Fund 238 discretionary, 2020.
Second.
Discussion
I only have 802.
3.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. I meant the,
here in Harbor.
yeah, yeah.
I'm gonna get a
Yeah.
copy of whenever you
Hey.
get that.
You're not.
Roll call,
Oh,
I can give this to you.
Brumman,
Yes.
Johnston,
Yes.
Small,
Yes.
Yax,
Yes. Fund 245 Harbor Town, 802. Second. Discussion on that. Carolyn, good. Bert, roll call please.
Small,
Yes.
Yax,
Yes.
Brumman,
Yes.
Johnston,
Yes.
Passes. Fund 249 Building Department, 47,661.
Second.
Discussion. Roll call please.
Small,
Yes.
Yax,
Yes.
Johnston,
Yes.
Brumman,
Yes.
Fund 254, we're almost done. Delinquent properties, 70,640.
So moved.
Discussion. Roll call please.
Johnston,
Yes.
Brumman,
Yes.
Small,
Yeah.
Yax.
Yes. Fund 261, 911. $182,392.
So moved.
What? Hang on.
Record.
Yax,
Yes.
Johnston,
Yes.
Brumman,
Yes.
Small,
Yes.
And Fund 268. LE Fund number 2. 4,340.
Negative.
Sorry,
This is negative.
negative 4, yes.
I second. I thought you were making motions.
Yep, I did.
Okay.
Brumman,
Yes.
Yax,
Yes.
Johnston,
Yes.
Small.
Yes.
There's none. Do you want to
Yeah,
read that?
please.
Okay.
I have it too here, so, but.
Okay. Hey, that, what else do we have? Pretty good. Personnel report.
So first now, we have, we met with, well, I'm not being here today, so we're going to finish up a meeting we were doing with, where I brought to you last meeting, an idea of doing something in the equalization department. We have a possible solution that the board will vote on next meeting. When it comes here, we'll have a better idea of what that's gonna be. So we do have a solution for that. Secondly, Terry and I met, we had Terry become the second person for an issue. We have a grievance at the EMS. Terry's been involved when he was on personnel before, so we kept him on it. So him and I met with EMS yesterday. With the union. There was a grievance involving an employee. We are asking, after talking with our council and discussing it, we're asking the board to allow personnel to have authority to negotiate a grievance, a solution to the grievance. We have 5 days to answer this, according to step 2 of the EMS contract. I guess that's, Tom said that's the best way to go, is to ask the board to give the personnel department or personnel committee the ability to negotiate a settlement. And then that settlement that is negotiated will be brought back to the board for approval. And then if they don't counter or whatever the case may be.
Yeah, 5 days, so.
We have 5 days, yeah, we'll write up what we're gonna offer, see what their response is, and then return it back here. For their concurrence. So I would, I guess, probably should have been a new business. We'll do it from personnel. We'd ask for a motion to allow the personnel committee to give the settlement. They would read from someone involved in employee with EMS.
Is that,
I did.
He made the motion.
I made the motion.
Oh, you made motion, I'll second.
is that motion inclusive of pending final approval by the full board?
Yeah, they're gonna come
Yeah,
back with us the next meeting.
Yeah, we're just negotiating it and then with the assurance that we return that back to the board for final.
And we do probably work with Tom on that also.
Yeah, we'll be the.
And
Yeah, as a matter of fact, it's already been involved.
okay. Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Motion passes.
Other than that, the personnel's really quiet. We don't have anything else. We had a meeting with Misty scheduled for today with Adam Alt. We didn't do that. So other than that, everything else is pretty quiet.
Treasury report.
March week. And that is,
On the desk. Oh,
so after we got all the, information in from the month of February through yesterday, was able to put together kind of an overview of 2024. This obviously will change. This is kind of categorizing the revenue that came in. The budget, the first 2 pages are the revenue. Then third page is the general fund budget expenditures, where the money was spent. With the percentages and the totals are down below, and there's a breakout more of on the back side of that sheet. After that next page, there's a tentative ending fund balance. Obviously, these things need to be audited, and we'll be going through that very soon. We paid our first installment to the auditors for the contract that you signed. So they will be forthcoming. I haven't heard a date yet, but I will let you know if I do. There's usually a lot of work that comes with that, and that's up and coming. So the detail for the cash and the revenues and expenditures is on the next page. And this is kind of where you'll see what's here and what's coming in. If we flip back over to the balance sheet, the taxes receivable, it says $399. We did receive some more tax dollars that came in 25 that need to be reduced off of this. Our budgeted amount for last year is showing the $3,601,264.35. And that reflects the $299. We must have had a payment yesterday that I missed and didn't get it through that. So I apologize for that. This was at 8:50 last night. So looking through, we have a healthy fund balance. It appears that, revenues versus expenditures, we had 312,699 more than we had anticipated, so we are in a good place as far as I can tell. Going through that, that just gives the entire general fund. And when you get past the next pink page, it is, I have an extra sheet here with the details, but it kind of gives an overview of the last 4 years, revenues and expenditures by month. This is the net amount that we have on any given day, for the last 4 years, every month. So in January, we spent 321,172. This is of 22. So we had spent 321,172.15 more than we had brought in. So these are the effects that we have and how we've been moving forward. I don't know if you have any questions. It's just basically kind of an overview to see where money comes in, how it gets here, and where we're struggling. Obviously, 25 has just started, so this year we spent $560,899.56 more than we took in, based on the net cash.
So we're running red 7 months of the year, right? We're taking money out.
Yeah. But that's why it's so important to be so diligent and have a fund balance to start out with. It takes us, this is not the fund balance, this is our revenues and expenditures that come in and how they go. We started out the year, you can go back and reference that, that balance sheet. We started out with a healthy fund balance in 2024 of 1,432,000. So we had enough to cover, but not necessarily when we got into, if you take that amount of money and the differences here, we really were struggling by the 4th month. And finally made it past that point, which we generally do. And got it, when the tax dollars started coming in the end of July, the beginning of August. And the last page is all the details for that, along with, a revenue and expenditure report for the budgeted items, revenue wise and expenditure wise. And it's just kind of it was just kind of an interesting to see, and if anybody has any questions, I do have some highlights that explain a few things on why these changes were so large in some departments and not so much in the others. But it's all very, I mean, it's, if you have a question about one of them, I'm more than happy to help. Obviously, our tax base has gone up over the last few years. And I have up to 24, so we had a $324,000 increase in taxes from in the average overall. So that's gonna help. There's been a lot of contract changes. Obviously, we have a few items in the revenues, $29,250. And our general fund revenue was for election reimbursements. We only have that. That was just a new thing. So we spent it out, but we got reimbursed for it. Another one was 48,624 we got from employee contributions for their health insurance. That's something we haven't experienced. So there are some ups and downs.
Closing out the defined benefits and.
Yep, closing out the defined benefits was a huge thing for the jail. So it made this 25 budget less impactful, so there was only an increase of $333 or something like that, I believe. So you can see through the years, the changes are significant, obviously, from the closing of the jail. And then that year that happened, there were buyouts, which increased what we had, and then the contract at the same time, it kind of put a big pressure on there, but it's pretty clear in the trends that we have, that we're doing everything we can to get that done. The appropriations was another big issue, to the county funds, to the EDC for the broadband project. A big loss that we've had, obviously, is a few years ago, we had ARPA money. We were getting $265,000 a year. It's great. As far as revenues are concerned, and that's no longer in our wheelhouse. And there was also other additional grants that had come through for about $200,000 per year. Those are no longer available. We're in a good place. I know there's a lot of things going on and a lot of changes, but I think we've done a pretty good job. There's a few things we're working on, still for this upcoming year. But that's what I have. And does anybody have any questions?
Let me get through all these pages.
Yeah, I'm more than happy to, I know it's a lot of information, but it'll give you a clear picture on where the budgeting is and how it's done.
So the lower right corner on the last, the ones in red, ones in black, are they both increases over time? Or not? So,
Which one?
so the first one, the 22 to 25 change, that means we revenued and spent 735,000 more than we did in 22.
Yes,
Okay. So then the 491 means we spent 491 more than 24? Is that what that means? I just wonder about, that one's not black, it's red. I thought that was a reduction.
in general it is, but when you look at all the expenditures, they are red.
Yeah, okay, so, but they're both, in essence,
Here
the
was it.
same. They're increases,
An increase in the expenses.
yeah, and revenue both. So from 24 to 25, we went up 491. We didn't go down 491. We went up 491.
Mhm.
Yeah, okay.
In expenses and revenue.
I just sort of read the parentheses.
Yeah, normally it is, but when you pull this this is pulled from the BSNA.
Yeah,
And so I tried to adjust as I could, the best I could, but that's why the increases or decreases are the black and red. If you go down to animal shelter, dog warden, we had a decrease of 162, an increase of 4,000, and an increase in 1,000.
yeah, but these, it all works. It's all right on the column. Those are red and black and increases and decreases. It's just that bottom one.
Yeah, maybe I didn't check that one. 22 to 25 changes.
Everything, those all work. They're black and, you know, anyway, yeah.
Well, my goodness, leave it to you. Pick it out, go ahead. I will look at that and make sure those are, they should correspond with what is in the general ledger, and you can check that out as well. But I can clarify anything you need.
You got a calculator? I wonder which percent increase. Did you do that?
I did not.
I'm curious.
I'll leave that up to you. I'm tired. You're on the call line. Yeah. We're moving. Price of being human. Other than that, we did send out, title check has sent out notices to prior foreclosure to claim to the prior owners for claiming excess proceeds. That information has gone to all the prior owners of the properties that we have foreclosed, they have an opportunity to claim the excess proceeds from the sales, back to 2015. We have had a lot of phone calls. And so they have an opportunity to file a form and claim the excess proceeds.
How long do they have to file that?
I said, I figured that question was gonna come when I don't have the paperwork in front of me.
Okay.
I can get that to you, they don't have a whole.
We're talking a few months.
It's so illegally improper that it's happening. We'll avoid that so far today.
I will bring you back better information for
No rush. I'm just curiosity.
I wonder what percentage of people are that file that. I guess we'll find out. in time and time.
We foreclosed on 10 or 11 properties this year, and we had 2 people file.
What's gonna happen when, a couple of years from now, we realize, it's kind of illegal what we did. Maybe those people should pay back that money that we gave them.
I never-
Anybody have any other questions?
Just because it's fun.
Yeah.
12.79% increase from 22 to 25.
There you go.
Average of
Overall?
3.19% each year of increase on our expenditures and revenues. So that's 3% per year increase.
There you go. We have the statistician on point.
What is the increase in value of the county during that same period?
Oh, yeah, more than that, because the last couple of years, it's been 5% taxable income. This is inflation, so we've increased our taxable values
It's on
5, 10, 12% in the last 3 years.
It's not like 5% every year, has it?
Yeah, I think the 2 years it was. It's 5 and 5 and then 2, I think. It almost matched that. Pretty close.
I thought it was 2.
2% this year.
No,
No,
not.
3.9.
what are you saying is 2%?
The increase in taxable value
Thank you.
Okay.
on property. Pretty close.
Taxable, no,
Taxable value.
it could be a lot more, oh, yeah.
Assessed value went up
Assessed
30%.
30%.
Yeah, but the taxable values only went up. It can only go 5, but
Right.
we were at, I think we did 5 once, maybe or twice. It was
I don't
5
know.
and then a 4 and 2. Why did I think?
March 31st, go back to your question.
Okay,
2025.
2025?
Yes, ma'am.
But they only have, figured they only have
We have
3 months.
one.
Well, thank you very much for
Excellent.
all the
Information.
and the graphs. Went well over and beyond. So, clerks,
Kind of quiet now that January is done. Everybody has got all their special pays or their first of the year things and their 1099s and W-2s and all that good stuff. And plus 3 payrolls. But, the judge is gonna be gone, every March. She takes a vacation and, so Brooke will get kind of caught up and I've been down in the old vault cleaning. And so, hoping to get caught up on some vital records and get stuff moved from upstairs down into the old vault in the new vault. Other than that, I mentioned at finance, the thing that will affect, our office is in regard to, the stalwart with the part-time sick time pay. And how that's gonna be set up in BSNA statewide. Other than that, the election in May, I'm gonna have just small training with a couple of the clerks that are affected, that are new by Alcona Community Schools. And, one of the election inspectors that was always the chair in Alcona Township retired from elections. And therefore, all the people went with her, so I'm gonna have to do a small training for Alcoa Township as well. But other than that, that's about all I have.
So this part-time sick pay, they delayed it. It was supposed to be implemented February 21st.
Correct, and it was held up
Just delayed, or they are
in
still?
the house. They were reviewing something. They didn't
It's being
specify.
appealed. So that's,
Yeah. That's what I heard. It was supposed to, I won't even get into it.
yeah, I don't think they know right now. It's,
It's just you don't think about how many like full-time employees we have versus how many way more part-time than full-time. So, our full-time is average of 60 to 70 employees, where we have 167 employees. And which remains for your part-time or your permanent part-time or your seasonal part-time, or, so it'll be. I'll just wait before panic sets in to see what happens. And once it's set up in BSNA, it'll be fine. It's just gonna be. Who'd you miss? Who'd you forget? Oh, I didn't think about them, you know. So, it'll be person by person, yeah. It'll be on our census list. We'll have to
thank you.
check. Oh, yes, thank you. When Cheryl was mentioning the elections, the reimbursements, that is, all of August have been paid from all of the townships. We sent out a second notice for November's, and there's one township that has not paid yet, Carolyn. So when you're at the next board meeting, if you could just mention the November early voting costs that need to be reimbursed to the county. So the treasurer can get that in, because it's for 2024, and I've already sent 2 notices. If you could just mention it, that'd be great.
To
To Greenbush Township. Thank you. That's all I got.
any questions? Thank you. Scott is not here.
I can back up.
Yep,
You did, they know. They know the amount, they know,
Yes.
okay. We want to blind us.
Scott said he was, when that was in meeting.
This is the day of his meeting that
oh, yeah.
sometimes runs late.
What's that?
He was gonna get with it. He was coming.
That's, yep, we'll put him at the end. We'll do committee reports, starting with you, Carolyn.
Change.
I know, I usually.
We should both projects. Had 2-in-1 full board meeting yesterday, fairly routine. Cliff, finalized the sale of their property on the northwest section. Use the word section, on the northwest property of Cedar Lake. That's been completely resolved now, and I think it's been recorded already, although I've not contacted that. Been meeting with ACCOA, we're working on a few things there. Attended township board meetings and the opioid grant that we requested, that you agreed to allow us to apply for. We have not heard anything yet. I go back to.
I attended the Northeast Michigan next meeting. Quite, they're concerned a little bit about, the federal money. What's going on at federal level, cuts and everything, you know, they have 2 programs there. Their main one's Head Start, and of course the other is senior citizens, so. They are a little concerned about it. They got notices the day afterwards. Emails and whatever.
This one we're looking to.
I'm not gonna make a mountain out of a molehill right now, okay?
It already is a small mountain.
Only in some people's minds. Yeah. It's a mountain of money, shall we say it that way? Okay. I attended a Zoom meeting today at 11 to 12 with Eagle in regards to the material management planning program. And I will not report on anything as far as what I learned from there. Other than, it looks like the program is going to have to be used, in other words, we have to spend it in order to get the money back. They're saying that we can carry over some, but let me look into this more. It's still in the beginning stages.
What is the original version
Yes,
of Washington?
yes.
Absolutely.
I think we really, we signed on to the original. Did we not,
Originally,
verbiage?
are you talking about the contract or are you talking about the law that came down? Do it.
Well,
We had 6 months, we had 6 months, we were forced to do it within 6 months.
We accomplished that. I'm going to RRS,
right.
we've accomplished that goal.
So,
But are you talking about the law? Because the law, at first, it was gonna be, they just gave you a grant amount, basically.
I would be curious how the contract that we have reads. Based on the law.
it's probably based on whether we got the grant or not.
That would be interesting. I would be interested to read that.
We have a copy somewhere. And we're-
Not today.
So we're still good not paying that bill?
Bring that up.
Well, I mean, it's,
Thanks again, Dave. You've done this to me twice now. And it's a serious, but it is a serious question, because we are having a little bit of problem. I'm talking with Alpena County about trying to accomplish this. The change, of course, was we now have to spend it in order to get the grant. The grant also, we have to have the plan going forward in order to get the okay on the grant. So that the grant can pay. Okay, so there's still a lot of steps that have to be done. We have the planning group done, okay, that's meeting. And they're planning, and when that plan is sent to Eagle, then Eagle okays the plan, then you could send any of your expenses into them and get paid back. Now, whether that will be through Alpena County or will that be through us, I don't know that answer.
And currently RRS is doing this.
yes, along with
Yes.
NEMCOG,
Yeah.
along with NEMCOG.
NEMCOG is handling several other counties individually. Okay, so they're in with it, and NEMCOG is involved in this too. Yes, I would definitely say that.
So RRS is doing work right now
Yes,
and they're being paid by,
other counties are putting money into
I
it,
see,
okay? But they understand too, I'm kind of speaking for them, they understand that until this plan goes forward, this does not get started. And so everybody's,
there's been no threat of dropping us out of the plan
no,
because
I have not heard anything.
I think it's been our position that we weren't gonna pay until we got the grant money,
Right.
but the work is going on and no grant money.
So we're just gonna status quo right now until we're pushed or
They emailed,
again?
Oh, yeah, they're, how much was it?
$8,000.
$8,000, is that continuous for another month, or is that just?
That was the first bill I got back on, they invoiced it and I received it August
Oh,
19th.
it's still.
It was due October 1st of 24.
It was for phase 1 and phase 2 of the planning, which we were obligated to do, which you chose to incorporate with the group up in Alpena.
Right, and they are, like I said, the groups have been formed. The one that does the actual okay of the plan, to send to them, okay, that group's been formed. There's also a planning group that has been formed. They do the actual recommendation to the first group. And then that first group has to send it on to them. It's not a fast process. I was really disappointed a little, I'll step out of this. With the, Eagle's been slow in this whole thing. Just be my first. they've been slow in this thing, as far as I'm concerned. They even said at their meeting or in this virtual Zoom meeting that they've just formed their financial group team to get this started, so.
Then I guess we wait for further information from you to pay this, or should we think about paying this?
If you trust me to do this, yes. I would not recommend it paying it this time.
Yeah, we'll just wait. I mean, we don't wanna go to the next level and I mean, but if you're talking with them and.
They understand the, it's RRS is, I feel, is being, and I've talked to them just in the last week. You know, and they kind of understand that this process is going slowly. And that they've jumped in and contracted and all these counties, we actually went ahead of the process. I won't say ahead of it, but we're doing our work to get this thing going. Okay, it seems to us that Eagles have been the slow one in the process. And-
Well, there isn't the money. That's,
And I would then say that is unequal because the money's coming through them and it's not getting out very fast.
thanks for the update.
Trying to be as diplomatic as I can about the whole thing, because
Well, the initial, I thought, when we said it, the initial grant was we were gonna get the money.
Did anybody read the
Spend
grant?
money.
The first year.
They were obligated to pay us money, we were obligated to do the plan. They didn't fulfill their obligation.
you know, and they were slow getting us
Yeah.
several things to form. Well, they were, just say one thing, they were slow getting us exactly what the breakdown of the groups were supposed to be formed. You know, that's.
So, in the environment that we're in, with cost cutting and getting rid of, if the whole thing went to pieces, what's gonna happen to these other counties that have already paid for a plan that's no longer needed?
Well, one thing that RRMS kind of educated me to, that I would say, is the money is not coming from the feds. This is money that's taken out of the sales tax from the state. So their money is not tied to any federal model, so I thought that was kind of important.
Is it a better deal with NEMCOG?
Huh?
Is it a better deal with NEMCOG to get this same plan done or not? Are they,
They said, NEMCOG said that they would contract with RRS even if we use NEMCOG.
I see.
In some cases,
In
yeah,
some-
they are doing individuals, they can do individuals, but the gist of the meeting that Dave and I were both at was that over and see, okay, I have told them over, Osco, and Osco would all band together to do a regional setup because of the fact that they felt that, it was just, well, you get more money, obviously, by being a multi-county thing. And so
Well, I think-
everybody at that meeting felt that this was the way to go. And we talked, and NEMCOG was at the meeting.
Mhm.
So they made theirs, they didn't make a pitch, but they said, hey, we'll support whatever you guys do and we'll put forward.
It sounds like the state changed their minds, so maybe we change our minds.
No,
You know what, we're not
I
gonna-
don't think they changed. I just think they're trying to find money. But anyways, is that it?
Oh, please.
Please, all right. I was at Alcona Township meeting, they are getting proposals and going to build a pavilion and a little park. Potentially this summer, I think they want it done. I was at a Caledonia meeting and they okayed a liquor license for the bar to be opened again, Smokies, which the Mountain Bar and Grill bought. So that's probably big news, so. Craig?
That's it. Parks and Rec, met with them, so their tractors are running, groomers are running, finally got snow, so everybody's happy out there. Lots of stuff happening in Barton City, Scott? Floods?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
Okay.
trails aren't doing very good, but
Really?
yeah, they're horrible.
Oh,
That's another story.
okay, I'll find out about that one. I thought we didn't go good. Also on Parks and Rec, so ARA site falls under Parks and Rec, the race that was last Sunday, and well, people have heard that it got delayed till the Saturday because of weather. So I think they're honoring everybody's fees and passes, and they'll have the race on Saturday at 1.
Yeah, but I should have had my van from last week.
Yeah, were you there?
Yeah.
That's pretty nasty, huh? Pretty hard to race and that kind of stuff. So hopefully I'll have a better turnout too. I don't think there was as many people as I expected, but this Saturday's supposed to be better.
Sunny and 30.
Harrisville City Council, gosh, I zoomed in on that one. There was nothing that I remember that was big. Road Commission, other than replacing mailboxes and moving back. I went down 72 the other day and I think there was 3 in a row. Ooh, gone. It's tough plowing right now. Be sympathetic. It's hard to see where everything is at. Finally, veterans. So and I should have brought this up in new business, but the veterans also have a they did get their grant, that ADA grant again, so that's an additional 60,000, I think it was. Now they got the first 50, is that true?
We just got an indication that the grant is being reduced.
Well, like today?
Yesterday.
Oh, because we had a meeting, I didn't know it.
Yeah,
Oh.
we got the information. It went to him and then.
Well, anyway, so they got that grant. They're looking at a pavilion that Tom Jacobs is, are looking at building for them. But in addition, so we need this approved by this board, and since I didn't get copies of it, so this is Alcona County Department of Veterans Affairs Transportation Policy and Procedures. Tony got this from another county. So with the vehicle, they would have an opportunity for volunteers to take veterans to doctor's appointments and use the county vehicle. In order to do that, there's a whole background check page, an application for you to do that. It is a county vehicle, so we do need some sort of a check on them. So I would like the board to allow this form or this policy so that they've approved to be the one that we approve. I will give it to Tom, and if you guys are fine with it, if you'll approve it upon his approval, would that be fair? Can you do that? So we can wait 2 weeks. It's not a big deal.
We'll get it
I'll
done.
get you a copy.
Yeah, we'll get copies and if Tom needs anything changed.
Well, would be, once Tom looked at it, it'd be in effect, but since Commissioner Rowland has to look at it.
That's probably.
Yeah, it is, it's pretty much boilerplate. That's just stuff on how it came from another county. So I will get that copies to each one of you, and you can
Thank you.
use that for sleeping medicine.
Right.
Other than that, that's it for me.
Hey, Scott, can I come up? Can I come up? Do you want me to you take this chair or I can slide over?
I can stand up, but I got progressive eyeglasses, so I get a little
Well,
busy.
I didn't know if you want, how close you want to be to Terry this week.
Like, sit.
No. He usually gets upset with what you have to
I
tell
want
him.
to take it easy.
I do. So just talking about you being old.
My dad, you know, like basketball with my dad.
That's true. They beat the hell out of you.
The old man's pretty good.
He was. Shooting guard.
It looks long, but I'm gonna go quick. I got prior engagements too. Yeah, sorry I'm late. I have my MSA board meeting before this one, so. Obligated to that one. Things we've been doing, last time I was here, I forgot to tell you guys, we had our jail inspection. And I caught heck for not mentioning it, because it is a big deal. Even though we're running it as a lockup and not a jail, we're still under the purview of the MDOC as far as being inspected and in compliance. We were found to be in full compliance. Which is a big deal. Not everybody gets that. It's hard to do in our states that do fail their inspection or have highlighted areas that they need to improve on. What they do with that is they do a site visit, they look around your facility, make sure it looks all safe and secure. They review your policies and procedures, especially when it deals with safety and emergency issues. And they interview your staff, of which, in my case, is Sergeant Schrader. And even when we were fully open in the jail, we did really well in these inspections. We always came out real well. Not that it was horrible, but when you and I started, you'd walk into our jail and it smelled like piss and meal. And it hasn't smelled that way in a decade. It's been, when we were open and fully running, it smelled clean. We did a nice job getting that place cleaned up and livable, and it reflected in our inspections. So that's a big deal, and I wanted to give a shout out for Schrader because he does a nice job of getting that all compiled for the guy and has ready to hand him all the paperwork when he's here. And a lot of the policies in that he reviews off-site later on. He's back with us with a report later on. Piggybacking on that, I'm updating our policies and procedures for the road patrol in the jail. I haven't done that since 2020. Not all of them are gonna need to be updated, but some of them. And just for reference, I have 55 chapters in the law enforcement services book and 72 sections of the law or the corrections book. That's a lot of stuff to look at. I anticipate the law enforcement services one having several more next time around. Just new things that have come up that we're doing. That we were doing 4 years ago, or things that come up that it wasn't going on then. Last week, I transported 2 prisoners to Jackson with the bailiff. Not a big deal or anything, but I haven't gone down there in over a decade. It hasn't changed much down there, but I got a chance to talk to some of the staff at the prison. They are drastically understaffed, overworked. They're working 4 and 5, 16-hour shifts a week, which is quite a bit. Everybody is disgruntled. There's horrible morale. Everybody's looking to quit or retire or get out anytime they can.
They can't find people or?
They can't find people, they can't keep people. And, yeah, nobody seems to want to work there. Coincidentally, at the sheriff in Marquette, they have a reception center at the Marquette prison where the UP sheriffs can take their prisoners. And they weren't accepting them last week up there because they said they were full. I would assume that full means we don't have enough staff for as many. It was disappointing, but it hasn't changed much since I've been down there last. Still pretty
You
intimidating.
could take them to local county jails. Local, we can house them in local county jail.
Now, once they get committed to the Department of Corrections, they have to go there. And, you know, my joke is always I could just hop them out of my car and you can stand there with a DOC envelope in front of the state prison and you guys can explain to the people in the city of Jackson why he's standing out here, but I haven't had to do that yet. Had my board of directors meeting with MSA a minute, like I mentioned a minute ago. A couple things we talked about was an update for ERPOs, which you know commonly is a red flag law that went into effect last year. And we have a member on the governor's task force to review that. And they're looking for things that have happened, good, bad, or indifferent with that from Alcona County standpoint. I don't think the circuit court has reviewed any. We've had a couple people come by our office inquiring about them. That we've redirected different directions to handle their situation. And a couple of my deputies handled a situation where they came to me a couple of weeks ago wondering about whether it would apply for an ERPO. And we went a different direction on that too. Around the state, there were less than 1 per day issued last year in the entire state of Michigan. So 270 some in 365 days. That's not many. That's pretty low. About 70% of those were asked for by law enforcement. Not by ex-wives or girlfriends or certainly not neighbors because neighbors can't apply for them. I had a lot of concerns about it. First of all, was the safety of my guys going out on the door, knocking on a door and saying, I'm Deputy Dipstick. I'm here to serve you this order and take all your guns while I'm here. That's really not a safe thing for us to be doing. But since we're not having them authorized, that hasn't come up. My next concern was the misuse or ill use of them to be vindictive against people. And I think that the checks and balances are in place through my office and through the court office, that we're probably not going to allow that to happen. And if it does, it's going to be an oversight on our part or somebody really tricky got by on us. So as bad as I think that legislation was, and I didn't like it, the things I was scared about are not really happening. So far, so good on that. Upcoming, we're painting our lobby and getting new floor in there real shortly. None of that's been done since 1999 and it was starting to look pretty shabby. And, after the paint job gets done, I'm gonna get the sheriff's pictures all hung back up, including the one that I took down a couple of years ago to make room for Sheriff Atchison's picture. And the one I took down has living relatives still in Alcona County, so I got put in check on that. I will have all of them put back up there, all the pictures that I have. I do not have all the retired sheriffs, so I have a good share of them. They'll get back up there along with some of the photographs I've shared around here, at some of the recent meetings, because some of those pictures are pretty cool. Now, next Tuesday, I'm doing a fraud presentation at the school, and it's for the staff of the school, but I developed this a couple of years ago to take to senior groups. And the Alpena Credit Union I work in conjunction with them, and I kind of took it a step further. And I was doing it to seniors, but now I realize that we got to get it out to more than just seniors. We got to get it out to people who have parents who are seniors too, so they can know what to look for. The big thing is, if it's too good to be true and they're contacting you, it's a scam. That's the bottom line. The other thing is people are embarrassed to report it, so they don't embarrass it. They don't report it, and we don't have statistics on it, and that's a shame. Because I can tell you that murder in this county is very, very rare. Rape, arsons, all these crimes that are high profile, pretty rare. But fraud, I bet y'all know somebody that's been frauded or scammed. We've all fallen ill to that, or have friends and family have. And when I hear about a couple in Barton City who boxed up $145 in cash, $145,000 in cash and mailed it to Florida and Guatemala and wiped out their life savings, that's big money. So if you do an armed robbery at the credit union in Lincoln or the Huron Community Bank in Lincoln, you might get a couple grand. But you know what? That's gonna be all over the papers. $145,000 out of Barton City household, nobody knows a thing about it. Big deal though, it's a big deal. It's a lot more common than all these other crimes. So we're trying to get the word out there, what to watch for. And this is my next step into that. And I think that the follow-up on that is this racket of what they call sexploitation that's going on. And unfortunately, I know two young men that have been victim to that. And unfortunately, both of them ended up being suicidal. Here, they did not die. There was a young man in Marquette that killed himself over it though. And this is where they're tricked into sending out nude photographs of themselves, and they're threatened with spreading that to family members and friends. And young men are very susceptible to that, and they're devastated by it. So they just don't see any way going forward. In Marquette County, there were 3 people from Nigeria charged with that. 2 have been extradited and sentenced on that already up there. The third is in custody in Nigeria awaiting extradition, but it's a big deal, and they made national headlines. And I'm looking for the episode of Nightline or one of these other documentary shows where it was profiled on, but it's a pretty sad case. The young man was everybody's kid. It was the quarterback on the football team and very popular and had a girlfriend. And just gone the next day. So pretty tragic. But that's the next step of my fraud investigation, is getting to the kids on that. Maybe later this year yet. Next week, I got to go to the Murma Task Force. It's the first time I'm going there as a committee member. Works out nice, and I'm updating my policies right now because they write most of our policies for us, with us being able to, slightly different options in those policies on which way we want our department to go. Murma is very, very cool. Law enforcement, they don't come in and tell you have to do it this way. You can take different options and different routes on your policies, and they will back you up on that. They do want you to have it in your policies. And the big ones obviously are your use of force, pursuits, and things like that. We sent out an email last week, and I don't know that, I think you all got it, because it looked like you got it. It's about this mental health emergency. We're pushing this a little bit. The first part of it in the morning is geared towards first responders, EMS, police, even 911 dispatchers. It's geared towards us. The second half is geared a little bit more towards the general public who might deal with people on a regular basis, like a desk clerk or administrative staff, court staff. We're all dealing with crazy people everywhere we go. And if we're not dealing with them appropriately, we're gonna end up getting hurt, or somebody's gonna get arrested, and it's probably not that situation. So the word to me is this is valued at about $3,500 per student, and they're doing it for free. They're hosting it in Barton City. It's a few hours long. It is one of the required courses by MFOLD, which is the licensing agency for police. Luckily, they're bringing it to us and posting it here for us. So take advantage if you can, give as many people as there as you can. most of my
When you
staff,
guys are meeting
Meeting then.
in the afternoon.
be a great spot to move your meeting out there.
I like that. I like
I
that.
think that's the situational awareness.
Yeah.
Could be the.
Yeah, so unfortunately, commissioners, that's not gonna help you that much, I'm sorry. I didn't schedule it, but,
I probably put out 15 plus of these.
oh, very good, thank you, I appreciate that.
My
Yeah.
townships, all of them.
Yeah, I think what decent turnout in the morning for the emergency responders, I really don't know about the public coming to this. I don't know what kind of response we'll get. I don't know, we may not get anybody to come, so I don't know. I hope we do. There's a doc teaching this and he's pretty bright from what I understand.
Same as both my townships, I don't,
Yeah,
townships are getting more and more too.
they are, most of our townships don't hold regular office hours or anything like that, but they're gonna get the phone calls. And the dead horse and, Illinois Township last year, I mean, that, you don't bury a dead horse in your front yard next to your well and driveway, if you're not having a mental health crisis, it's not. I won't be here, so. And complaints of note recently, the guys discovered yesterday discovered a death associated with snow removal, and I'll leave it at that for now because it's still under investigation. But there's been a lot of weather related things, this is the first time in a couple of years we've had more than a foot of snow. And we're having difficulty with people being stuck and in the ditches. And of course, you remember when we don't even have to be that old, like Commissioner Small, they have trouble when we're shoveling snow. It's tough on all of us. Snow hasn't been wet and heavy, but there's still been a lot of it. It's gonna kill me.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we did have a tractor hit by a passing vehicle the other day, and unfortunately the tractor pulled out in front of a vehicle on M72, and it was a pretty rough crash, so. Yeah, you gotta be careful. Lots and lots of fraud complaints, like I mentioned a little bit ago. I just looked through the reports a little while ago, lots of fraud complaints and a lot of mental health calls and a lot of suicidal people this winter. I don't know if the more snow has caused that or what, but it seems like we're having a lot more suicidal people right now.
Good, any questions? Yeah,
Thank you.
thank you very much. I mean, it's very informative,
So no, yeah, don't know, so you don't know.
yeah. Thank you very much.
Mr. Johnson, I'm glad it wasn't you got hit by that tractor, because
I did get multiple calls though.
well, my first thought was that it might be you, because you're not too far from where it happened.
Yes, communications, we don't have any communications. Last public comment. Anybody public comment today? Any commissioner, additional comments and concerns? Perfect. Motion to adjourn the meeting? No. David says aye. Unfortunately, March 5th, our next meeting.